Morning, Scott. Good to see you, mate. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10 a.m.
Morning, Rosie. How are you? Hope you're well. Well, occasionally, Scott, I have been moments where I can look sharp when I choose to. I've just come out of one meeting and I'm about to go into another one. So, got my full working, but I normally wear a working shirt anyway, to be honest. I often do during the day. It makes me feel like I'm at work. Don't know if anybody saw Matt's thing yesterday, his Testimony Thursday. Brilliant. I thought it was really, really good. Well done, that Matt. Matt's is one of my oldest friends. He's a really, really good guy, and I'm very proud of him. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm proud of everyone that stands up there and says what they believe. Not just Matt, but it was good. It was excellent. Hi, Tack. Hi, Matt. Hi, Charles. Coming in thick and fast now. Right, well, I'm going to start. So, today, Friday the 21st of July, here I am in my conservatory. Now, I think I can do this. I've got some guests here that I did have Tigger a minute ago. Merlin's there. Tigger's wandering about. So there he is. Let's take a look over there. Tigger. So this is my company today. As you can see, one word for me, and they did nothing whatsoever. That's cat's fear. So, Proverbs 12. I'm just going to read virtually all of it, but not all of it. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. Good people obtain favour from the Lord, but he condemns those who devise wicked schemes. No one can be established through wickedness, but the righteous cannot be uprooted. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones. The plans of the righteous are just. It is August, Matt, sorry. The plans of the righteous are just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the speech of the upright rescues them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm. A person is praised according to their prudence, and one with a warped mind is despised. Better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be somebody and have no food. The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. As a side there, I think actually what Solomon's saying is the righteous care for the needs of the unimportant, even animals. But the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. Those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. The wicked desire the stronghold of evildoers, but the root of the righteous endures. Evildoers are trapped by their sinful talk, and so the innocent escape trouble. From the fruit of their lips people are filled with good things, and the work of their hands brings them reward. The way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. Fools show their annoyance at once, but the prudent overlook an insult. An honest witness tells the truth, but a false witness tells lies. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Hi, Pat. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but those who promote peace have joy. No harm overtakes the righteous, but the wicked have their fill of trouble. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. This chapter is heavy in its discussion of wickedness and deceit bringing bad rewards, and good behaviour bringing good rewards. Now, my experience is this isn't always about money. This isn't as simple as that. Hi, Joan. It's not as straightforward as that. The reward for doing the right thing isn't always financial. In fact, I would say throughout the Bible in the main, finances are a sideshow. It's the love of money, not money itself that's the root of all evil, remember. No, I think that God is speaking to us throughout the Bible about something way more important than money. I think the rewards for right behaviour are different. They are things like peace. They are things like good relationships. And they're things like good reputations. It's not how much money you've got in your bank account. Now, looking at those three things, peace, good relationships, and reputation. Let's just talk about them for a minute. Now, people without peace can sometimes be easy to spot. You know, you can sort of tell that someone's not got peace, but not always. I think in terms of how much peace we have or have not got, we are our own best judge. Are you a man or woman at peace with yourself? Secondly, I talked about good relationships. My advice, the advice of Terence Clark, is this: be wary of people that leave behind them broken and damaged relationships. Particularly if you know some of the people that they've got broken and damaged relationships with, and you know that those people are generally sound. You have to be really aware when we meet people, and then you talk to them and you hear them all, you know, that person's fallen out with them, and I've fallen out with them, and I've fallen out with them. Often the common denominator is that person, not their people that they've fallen out with. And there was a bit of an example of this. I was speaking years ago at work to a chap, and he was a bit of a hothead, this guy. And he was telling us about the various houses that he'd lived in, and how these 4 houses he'd lived in, and in every house he'd ended up in a fight with the neighbour, and how unlucky he'd been to have 4 bad neighbours. And I said to him, I said, Adam, because that was his name, I said, Adam, I said, have you ever thought of something, mate? I said, you know what the common denominator here with all these 4 neighbours is, don't you? And of course everybody got it straight away. It's like, it's you. You're the common denominator. You're the bad neighbour, not everybody else. And he took it in good. I mean, we were friends. He took it in good sport. But I think there was some truth in that. When somebody leaves behind them relationships that are damaged and battered and bruised over and over again in a repeated way, particularly with people that are basically good, then you really have got to start asking questions. And lastly, of those 3, reputation. Now, I remember last week in the devotional, I'd overheard a webinar that Rachel was on, and somebody had said, our good reputation is our best asset. I don't completely think that's true, because I mean, sometimes people end up with a reputation that's tarnished, but it might be unfairly so. But I think in the main, it is important that we consider our reputation. Not what people think about us. I mean, that's a different thing. But our reputation, is it one that people would say, you know what, that fellow, that lady, if they've said it, it's right. I trust them. Now, the interesting thing is, our own yardstick can't always be trusted. Now, within this speak here, it talks about this. It starts by saying, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. Well, yes, of course you can discipline yourself, but broadly speaking, we are disciplined by others. Whoever hates correction is stupid. Then we come back to my comment there. Our own yardstick can't always be trusted. Now, what I mean by that is that sometimes the way that our view on life is not always correct. I can think of a few people that have a strong internal compass, but it might not always be in the right direction. Playing all the right notes, but not in the right order. That type of thing. So, for example, when I was a kid, well, I was probably 14, I was old enough to know better. I remember I went into a shop and there were some things there, they weren't expensive, but nevertheless it was a sale, and I swapped 2 prices over on 2 items. So something became £2.50 and it could have been £3.50 or something of that nature. Now I came home with this item and proudly told my family what I'd done. I didn't see any wrong in my actions, but that's because I was immature and I was yet to learn, which my dad did teach me, and explained it very carefully to me at length that what I'd done was actually stealing, and I learned from that. Mercifully, it didn't make me. There was a moment where I thought I was going to have to take the thing back and explain to the manager, and I'm really sorry and all that. Anyway, I didn't have to do that, but I learned a lesson. I learned a really important lesson. We're not always the best judge of our own actions. I thought I was doing. I mean, I'd not really thought it through, obviously, but I clearly came back and told my parents what I had done. So clearly I didn't think I was erring. I thought I was being clever, being sharp. I wasn't. I was being a thief. again, my experience is one of the biggest things that leads to warped behaviour is isolation. Isolation. Now, obviously, if you're mixing with the wrong people, with the wrong character, then clearly, you know, bad company corrupts good character, and that's true. It's very hard to pull people around you up. But working and living in isolation does also warp our own character. He talks here about I can't see it now. Uses the word warped, and I'd used that word warped when I was working this out. I think warped is a really good word sometimes for our take on things, and I think that happens sometimes when you've got good people who have deliberately isolated themselves. We need someone that understands the world that we live in. We need a boss. We need colleagues. Anyone not under authority is in danger. I've got a boss, and he's got a boss. And his boss has a board of other directors. And that is how the world works. And the reason it works that way is because otherwise people go off at tangents and they become master of their own sense of self-worth and of their own sense of right and wrong. And that's really, really, really dangerous. That's why Luke has people like me and Andy and Leah around him and others. And that's why he will listen to you if you talk to him, because he wants to be a man under authority. The thing is, some of these things don't happen straight away. It's not like you do sometimes make one big bad choice, but often the incremental changes we make in our life are what made the difference. Let me give you an example. Now, throughout this little speech I've been giving, I've been using this mug here. This mug was given me by a very good friend via Brad Goodison. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Joanne. And I think that they ended up with it spare, and it says Yorkshire Lad, which I like because that's what I am. This mug, I've had this mug 3 years. This mug was given me last week by my brother. He went away on holiday. It was on holiday for my birthday. He brought me a mug bag. I love it. It's great. It says Yorkshire Lad on it, just like this one does. But this mug is brand new. But this mug has had 3 years of use, dishwasher use, left on the side, been in the sun. This one is tarnished. This one, through tiny bits of incremental change, has become this. And I've been using this on these messages for the last, 5 weeks, and at no point have I said, this is a bit tarnished. Didn't really notice it until I saw this mug. And then I thought, you know what? Time has affected that in a negative way. And over time, that's what happens. We become tarnished, and we don't know it's happening. We don't know it's happening. That's why it's so important that we have people around us that we are accountable to. Now, we're not talking here about the blind leading the blind. They both fall into a pit. We know that. We're talking here about having people around you that you trust, that it's hard to fool, and will tell you the truth. Not deliberately hurt you, but will keep you in line. When we find people like that, listen to them, enjoy their authority over you, and have authority over them. We're not talking about having a boss. We're talking about having somebody that will help you live a right way. Listen to that person and protect that relationship. So that's me done for today. That's the end of this week. Obviously, we've got the weekend. So on Sunday, we've got the Cuppa Room starting at 10:30. The Zoom meeting doodah number thing is on the website, on the Facebook page. So please tune into that. I'll be there at 10:30. I will see you then. And until then, I will bid you a fond farewell. Have a lovely day, and I hope that God blesses you today, because I think it's going to be a good day and it's going to be a good weekend. Take care, folks. All the very best.